Quasar. What is your idea of an unsettling death? Most people might think of gun violence, a tragic accident, or death by 10,000 mosquitoes, but most likely never slipping in the tub. Why exactly is slipping in the tub unsettling, you may be asking yourself? Well, picture this. You're about to step out of the shower and boom! You slip and fall and Humpty Dumpty style completely shatter your egg. I'm talking game over. Now, hopefully it doesn't take too long for someone to find your body, but when they do, not only are you going to be naked, but you're definitely going to be chilling in a stew of your own pee and poo, which really just undermines the point of the shower you just took. As scary as this fate may be, this is pretty avoidable as long as you stay 10 toes strong while taking a shower. Or you can go to the extreme route and just never get in a bathtub or shower again, but I don't recommend this method if you plan on standing next to someone with working nostrils. Now, as unfortunate as this next ticket to the pearly gates may be, it's how a majority of undomesticated animals will go out, and that's being eaten alive. Thankfully, as humans, we've evolved to the point where we can remove ourselves from this food chain, but for those still in it, life sucks. You probably wake up stressing about how you're gonna pay your bills, your relationships with people, while Gazelle wakes up fearing that today's the day the pack of lions is gonna catch it lacking at the local pond. I've been unfortunate enough to witness a hawk absolutely tearing apart a pigeon.
Mark, what are you doing? She's tearing you apart!
And it was nothing short of brutal. Honestly, I'm surprised the video didn't come with a live leak watermark on it. The most humiliating part of this whole process has to be the end, where the thing that just ate you then poops you out. This type of death is pretty avoidable unless you find yourself among the unlucky few who haven't found their way out of the food chain, or those who like to FAFO when it comes to wildlife. Now, if you're anything like me and have a fear of the ocean or thalassophobia, this next one is definitely not going to be the way you'd like to expire. Death by drowning. Now, I've been watching a lot of those freediving videos, more specifically the ones explaining how it all went wrong, and some of the most horrific deaths come out of it. The most common issues seem to be random events happening that throw off a scheduled descent, whether that's an unknown health condition, improper oxygen tank management, or simply being consumed by the fear and confusing layouts that come with the nauseating depths and pressures of the ocean.
Man, I don't know what to think no more, man.
Okay, what's your best right?
But one thing that's constant on all these videos is that drowning is slow, agonizing, and terrifying. It can happen to the most experienced of people. I actually have a near-death experience with almost drowning at my local pool when I was a kid. Technically, it was kind of my fault since I was being stupid and pretending to drown as a joke, essentially crying wolf. And don't ever do that. But to my surprise, the wolf showed up and I actually started drowning. Most people don't tell you this, but when you're drowning, you don't have much time to scream about it since you're kind of fighting for your life and short on air. Thankfully, I managed to hold onto the pool wall and save myself. But for the most part, drowning is pretty avoidable as long as you never enter a deep body of water or just wear a life jacket everywhere like that one South Park character.
It takes a lot of guts to be a vegan in today's world. You get labeled soft or silly. But the truth is there isn't a need to eat animal product. Would you ever believe that hot dog was vegan?
Yes.
Cancer, heart disease, drowning, all preventable with a vegan diet and a life jacket. And if people want to say us vegans are silly, well, they can just laugh all they want, because being vegan is more important than being popular.
If you thought drowning was bad, well, you're right, but being lost in the desert definitely holds a candle to it. Now, this is a very specific situation as most people don't even live near a desert, but let's just imagine you double-crossed the wrong Egyptians and got stranded in the Sahara Desert with no way of contacting anyone for help. Buckle up, buckaroo, because you're about to be subjected to temperatures as high as 104 degrees Fahrenheit, around 40 degrees Celsius during the day, which is gonna suck the moisture out of you like a vampire at a blood drive. Not sure if I would call it lucky, but if you make it tonight believing your problems are gone with the sunset, then you're in for another surprise. The Sahara Desert is known to reach as low as 25 degrees Fahrenheit, around -4 degrees Celsius. And if you're wondering how cold that is, it's pretty cold. No matter how you cut it, you're either gonna die of starvation, thirst, or heat stroke by day, or if you're unlucky enough, starvation, thirst, and hypothermia by night. The best thing to do in this situation is to never get in this situation in the first place.
Stop it. Stop! Stop it! Leave that man alone!
This is pretty avoidable unless you live near a desert and for some reason have to cross it constantly. Last but not least, I would say this is by far the worst of all horrific ways to go, and that's cave diving. If you've been online recently, you probably saw a meme about cave divers or watched the stories yourself. Now, I understand people have their reasons for doing things, but you honestly can't pay me to go cave diving. There is no amount of fame, excitement, and money that can justify me putting myself in that claustrophobic situation, with no real methods of return besides hopes and prayers that you chose the right crack to squeeze through, depending on how far you go. Now, one of the most terrifying parts of being stuck in a cave has to be the amount of time you have to realize how bad your situation really is. Some people have spent hours essentially buried alive as rescue teams do their best to chip away at rocks in efforts to reach them while they're just thinking about their lives and the decisions they made, like going cave diving. For those unlucky few who never make it back, the last few moments alive, thirsty, hungry, and terrified, and being unsure of their future is both physically and mentally traumatizing. Unfortunately, people pass away from caving incidents more than you would probably assume. The most told story being the Nutty Putty Cave incident, which resulted in John Jones getting stuck in the worst way possible, which unfortunately led to his undeserved death. As scary as this is, the best thing about cave diving is that you don't have to do it, making it one of the most avoidable deaths on this list. Even if you come as prepared as possible, you never know what nature has in store for you, and nature waits for no one. If you found this video entertaining, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and drop a comment letting me know which one of these deaths you think is the worst and why. Hope all of you have a wonderful day and stay educated, folks. Goodbye.